Game Kings, the definition of game, documentary, coming soon. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So, what I find funny when I look at how certain guys, do their thing, right, is I see a lot of guys who want specific type of women. You understand? Like, I'll hear guys say, oh, I only want to fuck with 8, 9s, and 10s. Or I'll hear guys say, I only want to fuck with chicks who are, this race or that race. So I hear a lot of black guys, they'll say, I only want to fuck with black chicks. You understand? Or some other person may say, I only want to fuck with white chicks. Or, only want to fuck with, thick girls. And that's it. You understand? Like, so they have a very particular taste when it comes to, the type of women they really want to get with. Right? And so basically what it is, you're picky when it comes to the type of woman you want. But what you have to understand is that if you're picky, your game has to be tight as fuck. Okay? The more picky you are, the tighter your game has to be. You understand what I'm saying? Because what happens is that when you have such a narrow sort of, type, then what you're doing is that you're lowering the number of women that you're actually going to really try to pursue. You feel what I'm saying? And since you're lowering the number of women you're trying to pursue, that means that your game has to be extra tight in order to attract those women. Because remember, all of this is a numbers game, right? So because it's a numbers game, what happens is you have to talk to a large number of women in order to, get shit popping with these women. Now, the guys whose game is tight, right, they need to talk to a lesser amount of women to get results than a guy whose game is weak. He has to talk to a larger number of women to get results. So for example, a guy whose game is weak, he'll probably have to talk to 100 girls to get 2. Where a guy whose game is really tight, he could talk to 100 girls and get 40 of them. You feel what I'm saying? And so what happens is this. Let's say your type is black women. And let's even go even more. Let's say it's black women with natural hair. That's who you really like fucking with. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Your game has to be extra tight. Why? Because who knows how many black women with natural hair you're going to run into consistently. You understand what I'm saying? So when you do find that black chick with the natural hair, you understand? Let's say you see a chick like that twice a week. You feel what I'm saying? Then it's that's 8 chicks a month. So to get any one of them, right, your game has to be extra tight. Versus if you have more of an open type, you're like, I can fuck with black chicks with natural hair, weaves. I can fuck with white chicks, Hispanic chicks, Asian chicks. I don't give a fuck. You understand? As long as she's cute, I'm good. Then what happens is that your game doesn't have to be as tight because you have a wider net to cast out there, and you have more women to choose from. You understand what I'm saying? But if your taste is that particular, right, then your game has to be extra tight if you're the type of guy who refuses to deal with any type of woman who does not fit that particular type you have. So if you're like, oh, I only want to fuck with chicks with fat asses, that's cool, but your game has to be extra tight because now you're going to have to be able to know how to approach women, talk to women, interact with them in certain ways to get them sexually interested in you, right? Consistently, so that when you see those girls with the fat asses, most likely a few of them's gonna want to fuck with you. But if your game is weak and you have that narrow, sort of type, it's going to be harder for you to get the chick you want because your game is weak. So you may see the chicks with the fat asses. You may run across, let's say, 10 chicks with fat asses in a month, right? But that's not a large enough amount of women for you to interact with to get one because your game is weak. Now, if you ran into 100 women with fat asses, you could probably get 2 or 3 of them. But that's because you had 100 of them to choose from, because since your game is not that tight, it's like the law of averages. You just sort of got one here and there because you just kept going, right? But if your game is tight and you know what you're doing and you know how to interact with these chicks, what'll happen is that you run across those 10 chicks with the fat ass, and most likely 1 or 2 of them out of the 10 may want to fuck with you because you know what you're doing. You understand? Your game is tighter so that you don't have to talk to as many, and you're able to get the exact type of chicks you want. You see what I'm saying? But understand that if you are the type of guy who is picky, who has a specific type of chick you trying to holler at, because like imagine a guy saying I'm only trying to holler at 9s and 10s. It's like, okay, but where are all the 9s and 10s? You understand? You ain't gonna find that many versus the 6s and 7s. There's gonna be more 6s and 7s out there than 9s and 10s. You walk into a room of 100 women, maybe 10 of them are 9s and 10s, if that much. You feel what I'm saying? So now your game has to be so on point that you're able to attract one of those 9s and 10s. You see what I'm saying? So the more narrow your focus is, the more picky you are, the tighter your game has to be. And again, it's funny because I see guys on the internet who I know their game sucks, but they want a specific type of women. I'm like, bruh, where they do that at? What you gonna do? You understand what I'm saying? How that's gonna happen? You feel me? This is what I'm saying. So this is why I advocate for guys to step up their goddamn game. You understand what I'm saying? Because when you do step up your game, you're able to, get the exact type of chicks that you want. Right? You got to put in that work. You got to learn the game. You got to, do certain shit. But you'll get the chicks that you want because your game is tight, it's on point. And that's how you get those particular girls that you want. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Listen, guys, make sure you go to badboymembership.com to join the Bad Boy membership. And I'll holler at you guys later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. Now, before you go, make sure you click the link below to get your free copy of the audio program, Undeniable Game. This program is going to teach you 7 easy to follow tips on how to really attract beautiful women. In this audio program, you'll learn exactly what you need to do to become that confident man women are attracted to. You'll also learn what you must do to become better at approaching and talking to women. You'll learn why women don't return your calls and what to do to increase the chances of women returning your calls. You'll also learn the only time you should call or text a woman. You'll learn how to start conversations with women. You'll learn the mindset you must have to be successful with women. You'll also learn the main thing you need to do to figure out if a woman is really interested in you, and much more. So make sure you click the link below to get your copy today.